Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Carolyn Vig and I am a certified personal trainer and a health and wellness coach. So for those of you who are familiar with the content that I put out there on my blog, on Instagram, and the work that I do with my clients, you'll know that my specific type of personal training and health and wellness coaching takes a very body positive, health at every size approach. So one thing that I run into all the time when I'm working with clients and interacting with people on social media is that there are a lot of misconceptions out there about what it actually means to operate under this idea of health at every size or body positivity or both. So today I want to bust some of those myths, clear up some of those misconceptions, and give you a real idea of what health at every size actually is and why it is so important to me to use it in my practice. All right, so first and foremost, I am going to read to you the definition of health at every size from the Health at Every Size website. Health at Every Size is a concept that was developed by Linda Bacon. She wrote a book called Health at Every Size, and there is also an online website, healthataeverysize.org, that gives information about what Health at Every Size is, gives resources for where you can find practitioners that use it, and just information about what it means and how to apply it in your life. So if you want a real in-depth look at what health at every size means, I definitely recommend reading Linda Bacon's book. But here is a description from the homepage of the website about kind of the elevator pitch of what health at every size is. So the website says, health at every size principles help us advance social justice, create an inclusive and respectful community, and support people of all sizes in finding compassionate ways to care for themselves. So that's kind of the main description there. Then it goes on to say, HAES includes the following basic components: respect, critical awareness, compassionate self-care. And then it goes into a description about all of those things. So if you want to check out more about what it says on the website, I've included a link below, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because that would take too long. So why is health at every size important to me? So I use health at every size in my coaching and training business because I think the idea that someone should be discriminated against because of their body size is completely ridiculous. I think that everyone, no matter what type of body that they are in, deserve to be respected. I think that they are worthy of health care and the ability and resources to care for themselves adequately. I don't think that you need to be a thin person or have a specific type of body to gain access to these privileges. So I have made it my goal in my business and the way that I train my clients to make sure that no matter what type of body my client is in, I am giving them the best service possible and I am serving them to the best of my ability. And I don't treat my clients differently based on the size of their body. So this then extends into the idea that I don't use weight loss as a health promoting tactic because I don't believe, based on the research, that just focusing on weight loss is an appropriate way to try to improve someone's health. And this is the basis of health at every size. The idea that no matter what size body you are in, you can create practices in your life, you can engage in behaviors that promote health, even if they don't change your body size. And that's the key here. Now on to the misconceptions. So the number one misconception about health at every size that I hear all the time, and this is what you will find if you seek out criticism of the movement and the organization, is this idea of this is wrong because you cannot be healthy at every size. And people like to point out the two extreme examples of if someone is in an extremely large body and if someone is in an extremely small body. Now, I do not deny that there are definitely health problems that can be related to body size on both ends of that extreme. However, that is not what health at every size is saying. Health at every size doesn't mean anybody can be healthy in every size body, because that's not true. Each individual has a range of body sizes that they can fall in where they can experience optimal health. However, no matter what size you are in, whether you are in the optimal range or outside of it, you can still participate in behaviors and practices that promote health. And that is what Health at Every Size is about. It's about taking the focus off of body size and putting the focus on behaviors that add wellness and value to people's lives. And that's what I try to do. So basically, to explain this in a different way, if you think about how health is often looked at in our culture, people tend to relate it purely to weight. We think of weight loss as a health promoting tool. We think of people in larger bodies as being inherently unhealthy, and we assume that the best way for people in larger bodies to gain better health and improve their quality of life is to lose weight. But the research has shown that this is not the best way to go about this. Just trying to lose weight kind of by any means necessary, usually by restrictive dietary protocols and really intense exercise regimens. These practices may lead to weight loss in the short term, but they have not been shown to lead to permanent weight loss that improves health markers. So this is where kind of the typical just eat less, move more falls apart when it relates to health. People say that people in larger bodies need to lose weight so that they can be healthier, but that's not how it actually works. Just pursuing having a smaller body does not guarantee better health. So this is where Health at Every Size comes in. Instead of doing anything you can to make your body smaller in the pursuit of health, how about just engage in the practices and behaviors that are proven to improve health, and then whatever your body size does as a result is just what happens as a side effect. So I hope that clears up the biggest misconception that you may have had. Health at Every Size is not saying that everybody in any size body is optimally healthy. It's saying that health can be pursued no matter the body size. And if that is a choice that that person wants to make, the best way to do that isn't to address the body size primarily, but to address health first. So the second misconception that I hear all the time about Health at Every Size is that it promotes obesity. So this is a tricky one, because I wouldn't say that this one is exactly false, but it's not true either in the way that people tend to be saying it. So the idea that Health at Every Size promotes obesity, when people say that, they tend to mean that if we give people permission to stop pursuing weight loss, then we are giving them permission to be in a larger body, to be in an obese body, and that is inherently bad. So where this misconception gets it wrong is in a couple of places. And the major one being in a larger body does not make you a bad person. That is the biggest diet culture lie that we are told that is so destructive. This is what perpetuates weight stigma. This is what causes discrimination against people in larger bodies. And this causes people in all size bodies to fear weight gain and just being in a body of any size with body fat. We have demonized body fat and largeness so much that it's causing negative effects in all of us as a society in general. So the idea that Health at Every Size promotes obesity, it's kind of true in that Health at Every Size does give people permission to accept their bodies the way that they are, but I don't think that this is a bad thing. I think that when people are allowed to accept themselves in the state that they're in and then pursue health out of a place of self-compassion and self-love instead of guilt, shame, hate, and fear, then they can actually take steps to improve their health and quality of life instead of just falling into a diet cycle that ultimately causes more weight gain, metabolic disorders, eating disorders, mental health conditions, and all kinds of terrible side effects. Embracing a Health at Every Size approach will not encourage people to become obese. That's honestly just not possible in the society we live in. There's not this whole large group of people who are just wishing that they had the permission to like let themselves go and gain a bunch of weight. No, the people that are in bodies that are considered to be normal in our society, embracing a health at every size approach, will likely stay around that same body size. And people who are already in larger bodies who decide to embrace a health at every size approach, their bodies may or may not change in size, but their health and their outlook on life will improve dramatically. Because when you stop living in a state where you're constantly trying to change yourself because you think there's something inherently wrong with you, and you just embrace that the way that you exist is acceptable and okay, your mental and emotional health increases exponentially. And that, I believe, is far more important than living in a socially acceptable sized body. Wouldn't you agree? So the third misconception I want to talk about today about health at every size, or HAES, is kind of related to the second one. And it's that if we embrace a health at every size approach, then we will get less healthy. So it's a little bit confusing because, health at every size, the word health is in the title, but people seem to just get so fixated on the words every size. And this, again, just goes back to the pervasive idea that health and body size are one and the same, that smaller bodies are inherently healthy and larger bodies are inherently unhealthy. And this is just plain, flat out incorrect, not true at all. Different bodies experience health at different sizes. Also, no one is perfectly healthy. People in larger bodies experience health issues. People in smaller bodies experience health issues. There seems to be a connection between certain diseases and body size, and for some reason, those diseases are vilified so much more than anything that's experienced often in people in smaller bodies. So I will use myself as an example. I live in a socially acceptable body in many ways. I am thin, I am white, I am cisgender, I am passing straight, and I have a lot of privilege in that way. People don't look at me and assume that I deal with health problems, but I do. I talk about this a lot on my social media, but I have dealt with severe digestive issues in the past and skin issues, and these are things that people in all types of bodies deal with. But when a disease is experienced in a person in a larger body, it is blamed on their weight. And when it is experienced in a person in a smaller body, it's often ignored or written off as an anomaly. But that's not how it works. People in all types of bodies who practice a whole range of different lifestyle behaviors will experience health issues from time to time. Some people will experience more, some people will experience less. But that has to do with so many more factors than just body size. And when we take the idea of health even further, it goes so much farther beyond physical disease or wellness. Mental health, I think, is just as important as our physical health. We only have so much time, energy, and resources to care for ourselves. And sometimes we need to make decisions about what is more important. Maybe for some people, eating organic fruits and vegetables at every meal is of the utmost importance, and that's where they choose to use their resources. But for someone else who is dealing with a different life situation, who is maybe dealing with different mental health conditions or is going through an emotional trauma, they need to spend their time, energy, and money on different things. Maybe instead of organic fruits and vegetables, they need to be spending their money on any food that they can afford for their children. Maybe they need to be spending their money on paying back debt. Maybe they need to be spending their time caring for a sick loved one. You can't judge a person based on the way that they look. And you can't judge a person based on their health either. Body size doesn't make a person better or worse. and health doesn't make a person better or worse. The idea of health at every size is that health and wellness is experienced differently by different people. People have different priorities. They need to focus on different things at different points in their life. And putting all of the onus on body size and weight just takes away everybody's ability to care for themselves properly. With a health at every size approach, we take the focus away from body size and weight loss so that we can bring the focus to the areas of a person's life that need the most attention at that time. So yes, I'm a personal trainer, but I don't think that everyone needs to be exercising every day. Not everybody has the time for that. Not everybody has the energy for that. Some people deal with different chronic pain or autoimmune conditions or just life circumstances that don't allow them to engage with fitness and nutrition in the same way that a privileged person such as myself might be able to. But that doesn't make them bad, and that doesn't mean that anything is wrong with them. So I don't know. This got a little bit rambly. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I was having trouble organizing my thoughts. So those were 3 misconceptions that kind of grind on me so much every day, because people have so many awful things to say about health at every size, but that is all just coming from fat phobia. That is coming from a brainwashed mind that is so steeped in diet culture that they can't see the humanity in a person in a larger body. You know, if you are feeling a little bit triggered by this video, I get it. I'm not trying to insult you. But if I were you, I would take this as an opportunity to ask yourself why you think that health at every size is such a negative thing. Ask yourself why people who are in larger bodies must pursue weight loss. And ask yourself maybe how this is affecting how these beliefs you have are affecting your own self-worth. Because maybe if you cut yourself and everybody else a little bit more slack and let them live their life the best that they can with the resources that they have, you'd be a lot happier. Who knows? I don't know. You tell me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was an intense one. I hope you like it. And if you disagree with me or you agree with me, please leave me a comment. I want to know what you think, because I'm only one person who's experienced one life, so I don't know everything. So tell me what you believe. Tell me what you think of health at every size, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.